Welcome, fellow dreamers.
It's time for a surprise!
It is indeed time for a surprise.
And what have we here? It's a trunk full of costumes, so I suppose it's costume time, or cosplay time, yeah?
Just give us a moment, and with the magic of editing, we'll be changing. Welcome back, fellow dreamers.
It's cosplay fashion show time!
And, we do have some clowny videos planned, so what better costumes than Harley Quinn and the Joker?
Don't worry, my version of the Joker is nice. He's just a bit of an emo tsundere. AU.
Yeah. And hey, check out my little hammer mallet thing. It's one of those little evil eye drums like we got. Those sound cleansing drums. I really do like this version, this anime version of Harley, because it's like... It's, kind of like her, what you call it, her very first, what's that game called? Injustice design. But the hair is more unique, more Jester-like, the costume's more Jester-like. She's like a mix between the, the first Suicide Squad design and the first, Injustice design.
But you know, also not as slutty. Like I said, you do have more Jester-like... but samurai appearances.
Yeah.
Alright, now to change into the next costume.
Welcome back, fellow dreamers.
Now, isn't, this a bit more fitting for a dragon queen? Do you feel like a queen yet, finally?
A little bit, yeah.
And yes, before you ask, the sword is real.
Alright, welcome back, fellow dreamers. Now I really do feel like a dragon queen. Got my throne prop and all.
And I didn't want to be the traitorous Jon Snow, because that's not the type of man I am. So I chose Ramsay Bolton instead. But, you know, AU version, I am a guard dog. I guard the queen.
I have a space Harley Quinn. I really do like this one.
I couldn't find any more Joker costumes I liked, so here's a Loki one.
Hey, Space Harley, Space Loki AU.
Well, there you have it.
He didn't get any more Joker ones, but I also got this one. I really like this one too.
Why?
I don't know. It's one of those ones that, it didn't translate well in the movie, but it looks nicer here. Oh, good on me, but not for thee. And, last but not least...
Almost last.
We got Silco and Jinx, of course. Ooh, I really do feel powerful in this getup.
If, Silco and Jinx is too familiar for a couple cosplay, I also picked up, Champion Victor, or as I like to call him, Werewolf Victor.
You know, to be honest, personality-wise, Victor is kind of fits your character more.
Yeah, I can see that. Especially when he reaches his champion phase.
Now, Jinx and Victor would be an interesting ship. But I could just be biased because they kind of are most similar to us.
I mean, at the same time, he did have a nice and helpful interaction with her.
True, true. Unlike, you know, beating her to death. Yeah, I guess we should talk about that, huh? So, I'm just gonna go right out and say it. I do not ship Jinx with Ekko.
What? What do you mean you don't ship Jinx and Ekko?
I do not care for the ship.
How can you say that? What exactly do you not like about it?
It insists upon itself.
No, in all seriousness though, Family Guy bits aside, I don't like the ship either.
I guess we should, get into why. So, to start off, Jinx and Ekko never really had much of interaction to begin with, other than, like, one scene where they were sitting on the bed talking about a monkey that she found, the little mechanical monkey thing. And no, the music video doesn't count, and no, any deleted scene flashbacks do not count. And I don't know, I just don't think that they had any meaningful interactions, but you know what? I could go, if it wasn't for one thing, I could go, I'll give the ship a chance. But, first of all, I'd like to say, too, that, I don't really ship Jinx with anybody at all, other than, like, cosplaying her with Victor. But, it's just, her whole thing has been about self-acceptance and self-love, and I think that she should have had a whole season dedicated to just her loving herself and learning to love herself over finding herself in another codependent relationship. But I could give Ekko and Jinx a chance if it wasn't for this one scene. And that is the infamous bridge scene. The scene where a very unfairly matched fight, Jinx didn't even have a fair chance during the fight, even though she's been shown to be a skilled fighter in previous interactions, was beaten nearly to death very brutally by Ekko. And, as somebody, as an abuse survivor, it was a very uncomfortable scene to watch, especially rewatching it now when they're initially standing on the bridge and Jinx refers to Ekko as the boy's savior, and then he gives her this sinister smirk. Like, I wasn't getting boy savior vibes, I was getting predatorial vibes, and it was only made even more uncomfortable when he literally almost killed her in a brutal way. Like, I don't know, I feel like maybe Jinx should have, like, actually got some hits in on him or something. Just, I don't know, the fight was just so uneven, and for a majority of the fan base, and even the writers of the show, to say that Jinx and Ekko belong together, it's just not something that I want to see in a character that I resonate with being shipped with somebody who literally almost beat her to death when I was in a similar situation. And on top of that, not that I ship everybody's favorite twink with Jinx either, but because Silco is more of a dad figure to her. Everybody was saying that Silco was abusive when Silco never did anything to hurt her. In fact, he was overprotective of her. I think the closest he came to hurting her was when he was planning to stab her, but that was before he got to know her. Everybody is saying Silco's abusive and toxic, but saying that Jinx should be with Ekko, when he literally tried to beat her to death. And I don't know, I can't begin to tell you how many times people have told me that I made a mistake and walking away from my ex like that, and how everything happened was my fault, and how I should be with him or somebody like him instead of Adama, who's never done anything to hurt me. And it's just uncomfortable and just really ignites a fire within me, when I see people saying that Jinx was abused by Silco and that she should be with Ekko when he beat her to death. Almost. And it's just, I can't get behind Jinx and Ekko in good conscience. I just can't. I don't know. I just can't do it. I mean, if you want to explain to me why you think they're a good ship, I mean, I looked up videos on it, and people are like, oh, well, Ekko controls time, and Jinx is stuck in the past, so that's why they're perfect for each other. I mean, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I don't know. And I mean, sure, he stopped her from committing suicide, but that was only because he wanted something from her, which, again, parallel to my ex. He would, like, yo-yo me in and out of suicidal tendencies. Like, he'd push me to the edge almost, and then stop me just because I had money he wanted. But anyways, Season 2 had a whole lot of flaws. I'm not gonna say it was completely bad, because there were a lot of iconic scenes that I enjoyed. But I will say it wasn't what I was expecting, and 2, I think they should have gone in a different direction as a writer. So, I want to do something a little more fun to lighten the mood. I want to talk about, 1, what I thought Arcane Season 2 was going to be like, and 2, I would like to also talk about what a story pitch idea that I have. It would be a fanfic. I would start it out as a fanfic, and then I'd narrate it on my channel. So, here's the idea. So, first of all, this is what I thought Season 2 was going to be like. I'm going to refer back to Schnee, the YouTuber, and I'm going to refer to Daenerys versus Jinx Madness arc. And I do recommend you watch that video and then come back and watch this one, because he explained it better than I could. But to boil it down in a nutshell is Jinx, the Season 1 of Arcane ends with Jinx accepting herself. So for her to be suicidal and not accepting of herself and wanting to get away from herself in the next season doesn't fit with Season 1. What I sincerely thought was going to happen, and also the direction I would have gone in as a writer, I thought that Jinx... I thought that Jinx would be more closer to her League of Legends counterpart, but this is how I thought they would write her. I thought they would write her as Silco becomes one of the voices in her head. But when this happens immediately after she blasts apart Piltover. And not only does he become like a main guiding voice in her head, but he shuts up all of the negative ones. And he encourages Jinx and gives her positive reassurances and tells her that by blasting that missile, she's come a bit closer to making Runeterra a better place. And he keeps encouraging her to blow things up and, attack Piltover. But he also warps her vision so much that she sees what she's doing as good and constructive. So instead of seeing something being blown apart by a missile, she sees the Piltover building blast into, flowers and candy and rainbows. And she sees, Zaun, which was originally all green and gross, is, colorful and pretty now. And, I can't remember what video game this was, but I'm gonna compare her to that video game character with that gas mask that thought he was giving people candy when, in reality, he was just blowing them all up. So here's, I would have kept the people of Zaun kind of rallying around Jinx, and she would be more into this instead of being all awkward, because her state of mind has been warped so far that she's almost completely detached. I would save the final fight between her and Vi till the very end, because it's definitely a season-end fight, and I definitely wouldn't have had it end with a... here's what I would have done. I would have kept Jinx at a distance throughout most of it and had the other characters focused on more. But I would have had her create this big airship that she said she was going to ride in, and just kind of bombing the city. And, she would be like a final boss fight at the end. As for Vi and Caitlyn, I would have Vi struggle with becoming an enforcer. I would keep that. But then she realized that they're not all bad, and she ends up joining Caitlyn, and, the relationship develops. They end up, attacking Jinx's followers, at first mistaking her for Jinx. Kind of having this, taking some inspiration from this original Suicide Squad comic. But she, so she goes and, so they end up basically chasing this big blimp around. I would have Oriana come in much earlier, and I would have Victor turn into Blitzcrank because he was so damaged by the explosion. I would also have him and Jace be the only ones to survive while the rest of the council, including Mel, were killed off. And then I would put focus on Ambessa wanting to avenge her daughter, so she joins Caitlyn and Vi. I would have the final boss fight between Jinx and Caitlyn. Not Caitlyn, but Vi. Caitlyn and Ambessa would get killed. Caitlyn would get badly injured. But then Warwick would show up at the last minute and stop them from fighting. And they would make up. So I'd give Season 2 at least a slightly happier ending. As for my pitch. So, the pitch that I had in mind would be kind of like an Arcane-style story, where it's like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And they would also be a lot similar to the Arcane style, where there would be parallel plots But this one would involve the alternate universe where Jinx is still Powder. And the other side would be young Jinx and her growing up with Silco as her dad. So it would be like a story. That story would be paralleling this parallel universe story, where in this story would focus on Jinx coming out of the Powder in that universe. So tell me, what do you guys think of that? I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but those are the story arcs. Both paralleled Powders becoming Jinx. And the arcs that lead up to it. But yeah, that was a more positive take on that. I'm trying to think of what I can add here. I guess I could give more details. So it would mostly be some wholesome slice of life moments, but we would see a softer side to Silco as he's dealing with the trauma of almost being killed by his best friend. So it'd be kind of like a spy family Anya Lloyd bond between them. Victor will come into play, but I don't want to reveal how, because it's kind of going to be a big shocker. As to what leads Powder to become Jinx, there's another invention competition coming up in the alternate universe. And, Ekko is, like, really stressed because he wants to make a difference. It's a progress date, is what it was. He wants to make some progress on Progress Day. So, he's, like, having Powder help him work on this invention. Unless, like, time invention is time travel or something. Because Jinx told him about the other Ekko. However, the more stressed he gets, the more he begins to take his frustrations out on Powder. And he just, it's all verbal, none of it's physical yet. But the first time he does get physical is he finds out she's keeping those little blue crystals in a drawer. And at first she refuses to let him take them because of what happened to Vi. And she's scared of losing him too. He shoves her to the ground and takes the crystals. We see present-day Silco, who, much like his alternate Silco, who, much like his counterpart, is dealing with, having to battle trauma from Vander almost killing him, except at this point, he's trying not to show any resentment, even though every time Vander approaches him or tries to talk to him, he flinches. This leads to, Vander, steps out for a reason I haven't come up with yet, but, this leads to Powder coming to the bar for her usual little orange drink, and, Silco is tending to the bar in his place, so they end up talking and bonding. And, it'll be like with him expressing concern about how Ekko's been treating her, and bringing up the thing about, that Vander mentioned about her cup not being filled. So that's how the parallels will go. I don't want to spoil anything else, but, this is just roughly what I have in mind. This is the design I have in mind. So, yeah, tell me what you guys think. I would like it if Schnee told me what he thought. I've been trying to get a discussion going in his comments, but, I guess he gets a large volume of comments and didn't notice because I never heard back, but maybe a video mentioning him will, so, hey, maybe he'll video me back, who knows.
And sorry I haven't said too much, I just kind of didn't want to interrupt her while she was getting her creative flow going, because, it's been a while since she's gotten it going again.
Yeah, I haven't really felt like writing a whole lot. I mean, drawing some art here and there, sure, but I don't know. I was going through some severe writer's block. But yeah, that's what I have planned, and I'll even make a special arcane opening cover for it and everything, to promote it, if you guys like it. So, I mean, like the video if you want it, I guess, or, if you, I would also like to hear comments about what you sincerely think of it. I don't get a whole lot of comments outside of emojis. So, yeah, I mean, just tell me what you think of the idea. I am going to do some test narrations of my old stories, just to kind of test some editing features. And it looks like we're about to start coloring things. I'm going to try to wrap things up here. I don't know, I don't want to do that quite yet, just because of, I'm always off with, where I'm going with this. But yeah, let me know, who do you ship Jinx with? A lot of people ship her with Lux. That was a missed opportunity. Why didn't they bring Lux in?
Savika would be interesting.
Yeah, I could see that. Again, Victor, I would really like to see her with Victor. As much as I love Javik, I think they would make I think, Jinx and Victor would make a good ship too. But, yeah, literally anybody with but fucking Ekko. Like, I would seriously rather ship her with Silco than Ekko. That is how much I don't ship her with Ekko. But, ooh, where that girl that, was one of her followers that Milo had a crush on. I'm kind of torn about Isha. Isha's a bit of a wild card. I feel like Isha's involvement was unnecessary, but, because it seemed like just to give Jinx a reason to become suicidal again. But I would like to see some scenes where she's, like, hallucinating Powder, like her inner child, and talking to Powder and nurturing Powder. That would be cool. Alright, I think we should wrap this up now. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. What do you think of the pitch? What do you think of my alternate ideas for, Season 2? What do you think of, like, what do you think of, my ship alternatives? If you like Jinx and Ekko, explain why. I mean, because I can't see it. I don't see the appeal. Anyways, if you like the story, be sure to like, comment,
Subscribe for Two Spirit Pride if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching this on TikTok, follow for Two Spirit Pride. And back over to YouTube, we gotta get that little bell clicked, and you gotta hype the video. Whoop whoop!
Yep, all that good stuff. And do be sure to go join our Patreon, because, like I've said before, we are not going to post anything on it until people start, commenting. Not quite towards the end yet. But yeah, we're planning to put bonus content up there, and shit. I'm never good at timing these things.
The coloring part is always soothing, though.
Yeah, the coloring part's soothing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't know if I should speed draw all the covers for Wattpad if we do end up doing this.
I say you should do it anyway. Let it speak for itself if people don't reply to the pitch.
Yeah, you're right. March is our month. Anyways, until next time, fellow dreamers.
Bye!